Oh, hello.
Hello, it's very
Oh,
nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too. How are you?
I'm great. I just got home. It's 3 p.m. where I live. What time is it for you?
It's 7:57 a.m.
Oh wow. So where are you?
I live in South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay. I
So yeah, it's like it's I have never done an interview this early, but your publicist said, "Oh yeah, they're 7 hours ahead of you." I'm like, Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely an interesting time to be interviewing someone at 7, I bet.
Yeah,
Hello.
'cause I usually go to work by this time and I'm like, I have to do an interview.
Mhm. Do you work from home or do you go somewhere?
I work at a nursing home. I'm a physical therapist assistant, so I just help rehab people.
Okay. So this is this interviewing thing like a side hustle then? Or
Um, so me and my business partner, we run a music publication called the Concert Chronicles.
Mhm.
So we run a music festival in New York City and everything. I'm a concert photographer. She's like a press writer. So our publication, we get a lot of press releases. That's how I got your guys's for your new single Endless. So I was just looking through the documents and I was like, you know what? Let me check out this band. And
Mhm.
I didn't know Estonia has such an awesome band. So here we are.
Estonia is an obscure place. We don't get much publicity, I think.
I'm
Um,
shocked because you guys sound really good. And that's like one of my questions for you guys, honestly. Like, how is like Estonia's like music scene?
do you want me to answer that now, or do you want to talk about this later?
Yeah, we'll talk about this later. I'll go into like the smaller questions first.
Mhm. Let me just
Uh,
ask once more. You said South Carolina?
yeah,
That's a really like an interesting place. Which city are you from, or where do you live?
I live in like a very generational town. So it's a very small town in South Carolina, but like I'm between like two big cities. So if I had to
Mhm.
go somewhere, I can go there. But I'm originally from New York. So I moved down here like 3 years ago. And I think it was like the worst mistake of my life.
Really?
Yeah. I, I'm not a very religious person, and Carolina is a very religious state, and
Mhm.
I don't look like your typical South Carolina person with all my tattoos, so I'm not really liked in the area. So,
Mhm. Estonia is one
yeah.
of the least religious countries in the world, I think.
Yeah, I'm surprised like the USA still doesn't really got used to the fact that people get tattoos and stuff, but it's 2025. Hopefully we'll get there someday.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, guys. All right, let's get into the questions. Um, Can you tell me a little bit about the band and how you guys came up with the name?
So the band has been active for about I'd say it's like 7 years. But under this name, we've been active for about three. So Pridian was initially another band called Aeons, or Eons, Aeons. Um, and we also released an album from that name, and we did some live shows under that name. But then we swapped our vocalist, who's a person who knows a lot about. Um, well, first of all, he's just a very talented vocalist, a very talented artist, and he basically told us after joining the band that, hey guys, this name isn't gonna fly. There's a million other bands called Aeons out there that do pretty much the same music. Well, not the same music, but heavy music, you know. Um, And so if we want to stand out at all, then we're gonna have to change the name. And then we had a long discussion about what to do with it, and we found this cool word, Pridian. Um, its meaning is something we like. It's still kind of similar to aeons in some way. You know, it's also like a time. It's also a reference to a period of time. And it's kind of like a philosophical word for that. And we didn't find anything else called Pridian, so we really liked it. It looks really good. It sounds quite good. Yeah.
I'm glad that I got your guys' press release, honestly, because I'm always looking for new. I always say, the best bands are not from the USA. They're all from different countries. I always say that. I would die saying that because every band that I ever listen to are all from countries from like Sweden. We got like Aviana, we got you guys from Estonia. We got like Void Division. We got all sorts of bands that are great and they have such a great sound. And I feel like the USA bands are missing that aspect.
A lot of my favorite bands, and I think I speak for the entire band. Many of them come from America, so uh,
The total opposite. I like bands that are not from the USA. I like different country bands.
yeah.
All right. Like I said earlier, so you guys are from Estonia. Can you tell me a little bit about the music scene over there?
So if we go to the heavy music scene, then this is a very um, we don't have a big heavy music scene here. It's growing. It's definitely growing at a fast pace right now because we have this thing called Heavy Music Estonia, which is like an it's like this organization that's trying to promote and export Estonian heavy music. We get so they are really organizing loads of live events, conferences, and trying to get people from outside to come here. That organization is something that well, literally got us our record deal. But before that, I would say the heavy music scene in Estonia was really quiet. It was we had some outstanding bands that got some opportunities elsewhere, but it was really rare. It's still rare, but I see a lot more potential now.
So do you guys
We
like
have a
for like
couple.
oops, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like so like for
Okay.
shows, like do you guys have to travel far
Yep.
since like
Um,
your scene is very rare?
well, we have to. So we have about three big cities in Estonia. We have about three cities to play shows in Estonia. And if you play a show in Tallinn, which is the capital, there's not going to be a very big turnout because the scene isn't that popular here. To go elsewhere, the closest is Finland, which has a really big heavy music scene, but it's quite difficult to get there. Like to just to get that opportunity to play there, it's quite difficult. And the second closest would probably be Poland, which is about a 12-hour drive. So in between, yeah, in between Estonia and Poland, there's Latvia and Lithuania, which are also quite small heavy music scenes. And so yeah, but it's really difficult to get out of Estonia. We're uh, we're always trying to do that, and we're now trying to do that. But it's an uphill battle, definitely.
I feel like if you guys keep releasing music like after Endless, I feel like you guys have a lot of potential, honestly, to, progress and actually show people, Estonia can grow a heavy metal scene because you guys are really good and you guys deserve to, play shows and stuff in different areas. And I hope like within the next year or so, maybe that will happen. The scene will grow bigger and bigger. Maybe you'll get people to be like, okay, maybe let's create heavy music and get into the scene, maybe it'll keep growing because you guys are good. I I will travel.
Thank you, thank you. That means a lot. Um, yeah, well, there's been a couple of more old school or veteran bands that have made it out of Estonia and have gone out to tour in Europe and the US, but yeah, it's been about one, two, three bands maybe in total from the heavy music scene, and now
I
we're
can elaborate on that as well because there used to be a really big scene here actually, but because I'm a little bit older than Robert, I've seen a little bit more years. I've been a little bit more involved in the scene, but it used to be mostly like a lot of old school bands like death metal, thrash metal, stuff like that. And basically, what happened is people got older, dubstep came along, pretty much killed the heavy music scene. Everybody wanted to party and metal wasn't a party back in Estonia in like the 2010 to 2020, that decade. Pretty much everything died out and everybody started listening to dubstep and stuff like that. So the modern metal scene is very new here. Like there's literally maybe like we're the only ones doing this kind of music. There may be one band that's like close, but mostly not so much. So I guess that's what really separates us from the pack as well.
Like you're correct with the dubstep portion, because the from like 2005 to like 2013, even in the US, that's when the music scene was like huge. We had like Attack Attack, we had all these
Hmm.
big bands. And then after that, everything just fell off and everything went electronic, even in like in the USA. And I'm not really a dubstep fan or EDM fan. I'm the old school music girl. And you're right, even here, dubstep took over for like 5 years, and when COVID hit, dubstep took over again because no one was
Hmm.
really doing shows. Everyone was just doing DJ sets. So I could feel that. I understand that aspect, honestly.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
really hit us hard.
I never realized it would be like that. I never realized dubstep would take over. But yeah, as you said, maybe you saw this perspective a little bit better. I
Yeah,
personally love dubstep, so I'm big into electronic and EDM and dubstep music.
yeah,
But for me, it never replaced it.
we have 11 years between Robert and I, so yeah, I've seen quite a bit more.
I feel like a lot of the bands went into that electronic era. Like Brief Carolina went from, a very dancey poppy band to the vocalist just being a EDM DJ. And I don't know. I can't really get into EDM dubstep. I went to one show and it was crazy. I mean, people were jugged off their asses, just dancing around. And it's my first show I ever been to one of those. And I saw Skrillex, I saw Subtronics. It was crazy. Different atmosphere compared to like, people moshing and beating the crap out of each other.
I guess,
It's funny you mentioned Skrillex. He's my favorite artist, I think.
but he turned it into a party. I mean, I think well, I can speak what the metal scene here had, but it did lack like liveliness because it was just like all these frontmen banging on their chests and like do this, do that. It's metal, it's manly, but there wasn't a party. Like there were mostly like dudes, uh, very few girls, women attending shows because it's like this really macho scene, and somehow I guess the dubstep thing had to happen because it made most bands realize that just being that macho metal stuff is really boring. Nobody really cares, and it's much more inclusive now. I think it's much more fun. It missed out on a lot of fun, and now, as you can see, like Lorna Shore is the most fun thing you can have, and it's like one of the most extreme bands ever. And how does that work? It works now.
Hmm. Yeah. So like over there, like women, like if there was like a big heavy metal scene, do women like participate or is it just mostly men just go to the shows?
Depends on the scene, but we're kind of fortunate in that part. I don't. We have like it's nicely split, I believe, something like that.
If we look at our statistics, like on social media, it's actually mostly women.
Yeah.
Um, if if I think about shows, I think it's about 50-50, but I feel like it's because everyone takes their partners to the show. So you don't really know who's the initiative, who's taking the initiative there. But it's I'd say it's very even now.
Yeah, the thing that
Like,
But
really helps
it definitely
here,
depends on the scene. Yeah.
I just like that the thing that really helps now is the Heavy Music Estonia, because it used to be like a bunch of underground shows when nobody would dare to even go because it's really like weird venues, underground stuff, like people are, I'd say, rather scared. But now it's an official organization is really doing something for the heavy scene, so it kind of validates it, and people are like more, huh, this sounds cool. There's like an official metal scene now versus the unofficial, the really weird, sketchy places that we had.
well, those are the best places to find the best fans is those underground places where tickets are like $6 and you go in and it's just the band and like 20, 30 people in like one little intimate room. Those are the best. I'm sorry, those are the best shows, but the most dangerous, which I understand. But like you don't really see those shows anymore, especially like in the USA. You don't really see much underground. Everything is just very like in the big venues or smaller venues. You don't really see much DIY, like do your own
Mhm.
venues anymore.
We have one basically that I know of, which really does.
I feel like we have yeah, it's kind of reached a state or a point where um it's really difficult to throw your own party in a venue that's actually accommodating to the music and to the crowd. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like we have a venue where you can have 20 people, but the next venue is 400 people, and there's really nothing in between that would be a
Oh,
good
yeah,
party.
yeah.
So it's kind of like if it's difficult to even throw a good party like that, I think. But
Which we are currently
I'm
trying to
sure it's an
do.
attitude thing. Yeah, we're currently trying to throw one, and it's and we had to opt for a pretty big venue because we're not sure what's the current we're not sure what's the current state of the band, and we're not sure what's the current state of the scene. We're kind of trying to guesstimate something. Are
I
people gonna pull up or not?
I always say, like, as a businesswoman with my partner, we run a music festival. You have to grow, even as a band or like me as a with my business. You got to invest. You got to lose money. You don't know how the turnout's gonna be, but it's all about creating music and putting on a show, even for like the 10 people that show up, because those are the 10 people that are your fans. You know what I mean? Playing for in front of 10 people compared to playing in front of 200. 200 sounds good, yeah, but those 10 people are going to be those fans where they come up, buy stuff, talk to you, tells you how your music like changed their life and all that. Like, I understand that. It's just an investment, expensive investment, but sometimes you got to lose money to, gain that exposure a little bit. Like, I understand that.
Oh yeah, I've been
Yeah,
losing money
definitely.
for like 5 years now at least, or even more.
It's
Yeah,
the music industry is very expensive.
Oh yeah.
doing a band basically means losing money until maybe you start to break even at one point. I don't think we're anywhere close to that point though.
Oh hell no.
But it's looking positive.
Oh
Listen,
yeah.
the production of like Endless, like that music video is insane. Like that is such great production for a band that basically like rebranded the name and is trying to break out into the scene. Like that video is great. That's what caught my attention for that song is that video. I was like, okay, this band must be pretty big. And it's not, guys aren't that big. I was like, wow, the production for this video, that means like they're really taking the time to create music that will capture the attention of the listener and everything. So you guys are doing great in that aspect. It's creating very cinematic videos that look simple but holds a lot of meaning to it.
Yeah, that's full credit to Eric, the guy who directed the video. He's just one dude. It's pretty much did everything by himself. Our lighting guy, Mart, was also involved. He did the lighting and stuff. That also helped a lot. But mostly those two. And Eric, he's a wizard. He's a total wizard.
Yeah, we have our own very very professional crew who's just unbelievable at doing things. Just really, they're just super capable, and you know, we we're really fortunate that we have these people in our friend group and crew that just um, help us out in such a
But
big
that
way.
that took a lot of time to find the right people, because I think we wouldn't be here if we didn't have like Marta, who's our photographer, doing the social media stuff, Eric doing great videos, and other people we worked with on videos, and yeah, our lighting guy Mart, our sound guy Steven, Steven. That's crazy. I mean, we can make songs, I guess, but the whole thing, the band is so much more now than just good songs. Like, you have to be like an entertainer on social media. You have to be a clothes salesman, salesperson. You have to do everything now. And we have such a good team that, plus, we got lucky with Century Media, who decided that they want to help us out. And yeah, they've been great as well.
I feel like TikTok is the biggest thing that will blow up a band is to keep posting on TikTok and everything. Like you said, you guys got a good team. I followed your light guy because I love the way the lights looked in the video. He's really cool. I followed your photographer. She's awesome. I love her
Mhm.
work. And like you have a great team. Keep up with that team because
Oh yeah.
bands nowadays don't even have a team. They go all over. They have people from all over the place doing their videos, sound, light, photography. Like you guys have a set stone of who does what, like, and you guys stick together as a team. And you really don't see that. People just, like I said, are all over the place. They don't have a steady team to keep everything steadily moving very smoothly.
I guess we kind of identified early on, because we've been in the scene long enough to like know who's going to cover your ass if you're like down on luck or whatever. Like, I mean, we wouldn't be here without our team. We've had a lot of time to identify the right people who are gonna like improve us, make us better. And yeah, now the pieces are just like falling together nicely. And yeah, hopefully we'll achieve something really, really cool.
Yeah, I guess it's also important to mention that although I'm the youngest in the band, we've all of our band members and crew members have had their fair share of failed projects, so to speak, or we have we have a lot of experience combined in the group, and I think this time, like with Pridian, this time we have, I would dare to say, enough experience to actually take this thing hopefully on the road and like really do a good job as a band and as a as a band.
Collective.
Yeah.
Like you guys say, some of you guys are seasoned in the scene and you know the music. So, like you said, like you understand when you have failed projects, so you know what to do, what not to do. But I have high hopes for you guys.
Thank you.
High
Thank you.
hopes. If I have to travel to Finland to see you guys, I will.
Mhm.
Hopefully we'll
We
get there
actually,
first.
yeah, we actually have this summer we have two festivals that are, one is in Poland. It's the Mystic Festival, um, which is our first time at a festival this big. We've been to Germany once before at Euroblast. That was also a super fun experience.
Yeah.
And we have been to Finland once at a small festival, but we're definitely hoping to be back there as soon as possible. And and we would love to just tour. But we definitely need to establish ourselves a bit more before we can do that, I think.
Take your time. work on social media, work on your guys' look, sound, everything, and then start going there from there to do tours. Like you can do shows and stuff, but bands are so quick to tour and then they oversaturate their area and people don't really want to see them as much. So, and you guys have a small scene, so if you guys play constantly, no one's gonna really come out. You guys got to really like establish yourselves.
That's right. We have, as I said, we have three cities, and if you do two shows a year in all of those three cities, then yeah, that's pretty much all they want. So
We also
it's
had
not going
like
to be much more.
we've had fortunate timing as well because since our debut album is coming up, we really haven't played much shows. We've been just like preparing for it and finishing up on everything else that needs to be done before the drop of this album. And after that's gonna drop, then we're gonna play a lot of shows. But before that, yeah, we were basically just recording, doing we had a band battle, which we won the festival slots, and that was pretty much it. No, not many shows before that. So we try not to oversaturate, as you said, like a few good shows, good shows.
Yeah, you gotta pick and choose what you want to do, and no matter how bad you guys want to play a show, since it's a small area, oversaturation will occur more easily, and you don't want
Yeah.
that to happen. So maybe, like you said, release, the album first, and then, go do a show and stuff. So you guys have like a full, set to play.
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys. All right. So, Endless was the first song I listened by you guys, and it caught my attention really quickly. Can you give me insight about the single and why the single was created?
Basically, what happened is Endless. Everybody felt that this was the most boring song we've ever made. Nobody really, even though like label people, first thing they said, I said, yeah, I think that's the weakest song on the album. But the vibe was so different to the rest of the songs because it's basically like a caveman Neanderthal heavy song, and that's why we like specifically wanted like, you know what, screw it, let's release that song with a video. Let's just see because the other songs were, a little bit more melodic, a little bit more varied in like genres, sound styles. It's just, we just went with a heavy song, and apparently it did just the trick.
Amazing. That I hate when people say, "Oh yeah, that's actually like our worst song or most boring song," and I'm sitting here, I'm like, "But that's like the best song ever." I like it. It caught my attention really quickly. It was, like I said, it was done really well. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna ask for an interview. It might be impossible to get an interview with this Estonian band, but I'm gonna try my best because I want to talk about this song. I like the song.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's funny. I was one of the people to say that it's a boring song. Uh, because personally, when I listened to it in the first few times, I think I understood what its intentions were, but I wasn't a fan. It felt a bit monotonous to me. But then the more actually the more I listen to it and the more I've heard people talk about it, it's like people just get this brutal vibe from it that just really makes you do the stank face. It's just um it's an angry song. It's a brutal song. It really makes you feel something quite like primal, or I don't know. And
Yeah.
I get that more and more. It's cool. It's funny too. With this album, we really tried going with our instincts in many places. And this time, like although my own taste told me that it's kind of a boring song, then my instincts were to trust that this song is a slapper.
Like the video, like I said, was done really well. Like I try to analyze videos and I had no idea what this video was trying to like portray in a way. Like I was trying to like indicate like in my own mind, put my opinion about it. But like the video felt like a movie, and it was just so interesting. And like the ending of the song, no one's singing, but everyone's doing like that humming noise. That's like that like blew my mind. I was like, that was my favorite part of the whole song because it's just with the eyes rolling back, amazing, love it, favorite
You'll be
song.
surprised to know that people also say that this is our weakest song, weakest video to date. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about, okay? Because like a very simple video like what you guys did, it has more like if you analyze the video very closely and like listen to the lyrics, musicians that know how to portray their lyrics into the video and you actually analyze it, like you can sense like what the song is about. Like I don't know exactly what Endless is about. I think I've read a quote about it, but not fully sure. But so I took the quote and I tried to watch the video and try to analyze it a little bit. And I was like, okay, it kind of matches the vibe.
So
Well,
our band isn't about portraying one particular message. I know it's whatever you feel like you get from it. I think that's the most important part because we write this music for ourselves. We write this to portray what we feel like in the moment and what we want to get out. But it's not to we don't particularly need it to portray that same message to everybody. Because the lyrics were written by Jörg, who is our guitarist. Um, but the vocals are sung by our vocalist. So the lyrics that Jörg wrote mean something completely different to what Laur means by those same lyrics. So the song has, even for the band, it has four different meanings. Um, so there's definitely enough room for interpretation for anybody there.
but the direct one was that it was written about Elden Ring, the video game, and just constantly dying and respawning over and over and over and over. So it's basically resurrection and death and the cycle of that.
like like that game.
Hmm.
Good game. Well, yeah,
Yep.
I really really liked it. It you guys, like I said, I was just going through a document on my Gmail, on the company's Gmail, and I just pressed you guys randomly. I was like, I like that name. I'm just gonna listen to them. Okay.
Nice.
I was like, best decision ever. And I was like, I told my business partner, I was like, we gotta take a trip to a different country, man. These bands deserve more recognition.
That's awesome.
Like I said, you guys are doing great already. Like, I don't care what you guys say or what people say. I feel like Endless and the video is insane. I love it. Very cinematic. Like, it's very easy to interpret different meanings, how the video's set up. The lyrics are great, A plus, guys. A plus.
Thank you.
Approval from the USA.
Nice.
Hopefully, you guys make it here one day.
We hope
Well,
so
according
too.
to our Spotify stats, then US is the most popular. We're most popular in the US. I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the number one uh,
Yeah.
country by listeners.
Yep.
Hmm. We have a really good scene, but like we have such like oversaturation of bands that sound the same. We don't have like bands from different countries have like a different sounds to them that like it doesn't sound like the USA bands at all. And I feel like most of the shows I go to nowadays to photograph are bands that are coming from different countries and coming to the States and touring with like big bands and stuff. And they have better performances than these bigger bands.
We
I feel like one plus that we do have is that since we are from Estonia and our influences and our vibe as just people is so different than anywhere else in the world. I think that's our X factor in that sense. I think it would be very interesting for anybody to see us wherever in the world because I think we're different in that sense as as just people and musicians
Well, you guys
yeah,
are
I
all
because
mean
creating music in an area where it's not very popular. So like you guys are literally taking a risk creating music that doesn't really have a scene. So when you guys do develop a scene, like you guys are already out there, like a band that started like bringing the scene back up. Like I never even thought Estonia had music like that. I thought Estonia was probably like a little area where, people don't listen to metal. So I was kind of like blown away. I was like, okay, maybe they do have a metal scene over there.
Oh, we do. You should drop by when Tallinn Music Week is happening. That's the time period to be here.
Yeah, maybe I need to take a trip. I need to visit different countries. The
Yeah.
USA is
So
falling
it
apart.
has a metal showcase as well. So and that's where we got a record deal as well. And definitely they every year it happens. And then you should come by because then all the best artists are here, along with many artists from abroad as well. So it's a real big festival. Over
What's
10
it
years
called?
now, I believe. It's Tallinn Music Week. So Tallinn is the capital, and that's the place where it takes place.
I want to check that out. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, last question. What does the band have in store for the rest of 2025? Do you say you're talking about an album. Is the album going to be released this year?
The
The
album is
album is
dropping
going to be
very
out.
soon.
Yeah, the album is going to be out in less than a month. It's out on May 16th.
16th.
So that's less than a month. And then we have a summer, I can't say full of festivals, but we have 5 festivals. Sorry, 4 festivals. One of our shows is our album presentation show. But then we have 4 festivals, 2 of them in Estonia, 1 of them in Poland, and 1 of them in Latvia. And we're really hoping that this album is somewhat of a kickstart to our touring career, hopefully internationally. But yeah, we'll never know before it happens.
Yeah, I'm very confident in the album. I think this is literally the best work we've done so far. It's definitely a big step up from the EP, which we released a year ago, basically. And I think, as you said, like since we are from a really unique place, the music is unique by default, and it's gonna be really, really cool. It's very dear to us, and I hope it's gonna resonate with a lot of people as well.
Yeah, it's our first full-length piece of work. And I do also believe that we have a lot of strong songs on the album, and if if all goes well, then hopefully it will reach the people it needs to reach.
I feel like you
And
guys
in
are
the
going to
meantime,
reach
we're
like my area, like the USA, pretty hard, honestly. A lot like when I shared you guys' stuff like on my Instagram, a lot of my friends started liking you guys. So, yeah, cross my fingers for
oh,
you.
thank you for that.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Listen, like I said, you guys have a good team, great video, great song, great photographer. She's amazing. Hopefully one day I'll meet her because she's great. She makes you guys look good. So
She does.
Yeah, she is a very big piece to our, I guess you can call it success.
Yeah, she
but
carried us totally. When COVID hit, like her pictures and the content she made, like we were alive thanks to her because of that. So yeah, like
yep, I would
yeah,
say if the media person is good, your stuff will stay solid no matter what. Like I said before, like there's photographers all over, but there's always that one photographer that will make you guys look solid. Always, will always produce good work and stuff, and you guys stick with them honestly. And she does really, really good. Like I saw recent photos that she did of the vocalist I saw on his Instagram, and I was like, I like her work. I like her work. Makes you guys
we'll
look
let
good.
her know. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, it was great speaking to you. Once the album is released, my publication will do like a full review of it and publish it and everything, so you guys will have that as well. If you guys ever want to do another interview and talk about the album, I would love to sit down and discuss the album in depth. So
Absolutely.
We're definitely ready for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right,
Just
guys, I hope
hit
you
us
guys
up
have
and we'll do it.
yes, I once it happens, the album's released, I'll write up review, and then